short-range missile toward its eastern sea. North Korea's ambassador to the United Nations defended the latest launch in remarks to the UN General Assembly, demanding the United States and South Korea end their hostile policy against the country. An Arizona judge Monday ruled the state's ban on mask mandates in schools and other measures are unconstitutional. Attorney General Mark Brnovich tweeted Monday he will appeal the ruling. This is USA Radio News.
I'm looking forward to a play date with my granddaughter.
Nana!
I can't wait to get together with my friends for a backyard barbecue.
If you're 65 or older, you're starting to get back to doing things you love. Did you know even healthy adults 65 and older are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia? It's a potentially serious bacterial lung disease that can disrupt your life for weeks. Help protect yourself with the Prevnar 13 pneumococcal 13 valent conjugate vaccine, diphtheria CRM 197 protein. Prevnar 13 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 13 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Prevnar 13 does not protect against all strains of the disease. Ask your doctor or pharmacist today about Prevnar 13. Learn more at Prevnar13.com. Don't get Prevnar 13 if you have had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with a weakened immune system may have a lower response to the vaccine. The most commonly reported side effect was pain at the injection site. For additional common side effects and full prescribing information, please call 1-866-694-9300 or visit Prevnar13.com.
Some pests that can plague your corn crop. That's coming up on This Land of Ours.
Cooler weather is on the horizon, providing a valuable opportunity to deworm your cattle with Safeguard. When temperatures begin to drop, parasite activity on the pasture declines as they prepare to take a break for the winter. That's the time to clean out those summer and fall parasites with Safeguard so you can feed the cattle and not the worms this winter. Available in blocks, cubes, pellets, or free choice mineral, Safeguard feed formulations are the convenient, labor-saving way to deworm cattle. Remember to consult your veterinarian for assistance in the diagnosis, treatment, and control of parasitism. See label for feeding instructions, meat withhold, and milk discard.
I was probably a little bit like you. There was a lot of talk about the COVID-19 vaccines. I didn't know what to believe. And I tell you, everyone has an opinion. Some of my friends got vaccinated and some were against it. But I knew this was an important decision, so I went to somebody I already trusted, my doctor. It's your call, so talk to your doctor or healthcare provider and make the decision that's right for you. You can go to GetVaccineAnswers.org for the latest information. That's GetVaccineAnswers.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Some annoying problems when it comes to growing your own corn include dealing with pesky insects. If some of your kernels have germinated but the seedlings seem weak, dig around in the soil a bit. You may be dealing with seed corn maggots or click beetle larvae. These jerks love to gnaw on sprouting seeds, and new growth will annihilate your seedlings. The best way to eliminate these pests is to rotate your crops. Turn over the planting beds thoroughly in autumn so birds can eat the worms, maggots, and larvae nesting in them. Additionally, you can bait these worms and maggots with potatoes. Spear potato slices on sticks and nestle them a few inches deep into the corn bed soil. If you find holes all over your corn plant's leaves and stems, several different insects can cause those. But the most common is the corn flea beetle. These small beasts take chomps out of the corn leaves and transmit a nasty disease called Stewart's wilt. It's a bacterial infection that transforms your plant's vascular system into sludgy, slimy messes. Try using double-sided tape to keep them away. I'm Kathy Isom, Southeast AgNet.
When it really counts, depend on The Source for the latest weather updates, keeping you ahead of the storm. 96.3 FM, 1370 AM, The Source.
Today will be sunny to partly cloudy and a high of 85 to 89. Then partly cloudy skies tonight, low 66 to 69. Wednesday and Thursday both will be sunny to partly cloudy. Should be nice days. High on Wednesday 85 to 87. High on Thursday 85 to 88. From the Florida Weather Center, I'm Holly Holdren.
Lauren Carr, College of Central Florida Corporate College, will be Tom's guest on Wednesday, September 29th at 10:30 a.m., discussing higher education happenings. She will share how employers can support their team members through customized training that benefits their company, and also affordable training programs on everything from Excel to leadership training. Again, that's September 29th at 10:30 a.m. The College of Central Florida and your friends here at WOCA The Source provide this information to let you know what's happening at the College of Central Florida.
Auto repair with personal care. We know what we're talking about. Matt Gibbs and the guys over at Sunrise Automotive will treat you right. We'll treat you right.
It is Auto Repair with Personal Care from Sunrise Auto. Matt Gibbs in studio with us. Matt, good morning.
How you doing, Mr. Tom?
Good. I think I'm going to have to come back to you, and we're going to have to look at a fan. Because my air, you recharged my system for me.
Yep.
And it is cooler, but it's still not. And it's because you think that I have a fan motor that's going out.
I think it's intermittently not working correctly.
Yeah, and it is. I've been listening. And, usually the car runs for 4 or 5 minutes. Fan will kick on.
Right.
To keep it cool, especially if it's sitting idling.
Right.
And I've left it sitting idling in my driveway 10, 12, 15 minutes, the fan hadn't kicked on.
Yeah.
And then it kicks on, it stays on for like 35, 45 seconds, and cuts off. Then it'll come on 3 minutes later and run for 4 or 5 minutes.
Right. Yeah, I think we have a fan issue.
Yeah.
A fan issue.
So, and I didn't realize that the fan, and we're talking about the fan that is in this fan shroud right by the radiator.
Right.
I didn't realize it was so integral in your air conditioning working properly.
Oh yeah, because if it's not drawing that air across, because your condenser is really right behind the grill. It's your condenser, then your radiator. So if we don't have that airflow going through, then our air conditioner is not working efficiently.
Is that why it seems it works better when the car is moving than when not moving?
Absolutely.
Yeah, because when you're driving down the road now, it feels pretty cool.
Yeah, it feels cool. So the other thing is too, as we're driving, as RPM builds up, that means that compressor is going faster, pumping faster. So if we can raise the idle, and it cools off better, then we know that the compressor is pumping. It might be a weak compressor if it's that drastic. If the fan's working correctly. If the fan's not working correctly, then raising the idle, it's not going to affect it as much. And when I looked at your pressures, the pressures weren't reacting to the RPM like I really wanted them to. And then that's what drew me to look at your fan, was your pressure readings.
Oh.
So that's what actually. And then I looked down there and I said, the fan's not even running. So and it should be running as soon as the compressor comes on, the fan should be.
It should kick on as well,
it
too.
Should. Cadillacs are a little bit different because Cadillac, most cars, will use pressures, where Cadillacs, in their computer systems, they'll actually use temperature readings. So it may stay off a little bit longer because the temperature's not there, where the pressures on other GM cars will be there. So it's just and those are little things that you just learn over a period of time and just working with them and stuff like that. So
we talk about my car a lot because it's old. It's 11 years old, and it's in that thing where something's going to go wrong with it almost every 6 months. Something goes.
Yeah,
but it's still cheaper to car payment.
Absolutely.
Even if you spend $1,800 on a major repair.
Yeah.
That's better than $400 a month car payment.
Exactly.
So that's what that my wife keeps trying to impress that upon me. That it's got 150,000 miles on it. Yeah, something goes wrong with it every 6-7 months. Yeah, it's fully paid for, and instead of paying $5,000 a year, we're paying $1,800 a year.
Right. That's right.
And when you do that math, it makes perfect
sense.
Perfect sense. Hey, so I asked you a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
About a recall notice. I got a recall notice in the mail. It said that to park my car immediately.
Yep.
Do not drive it.
Nope, do not. Nope.
StabiliTrak is not in good shape.
Right.
That's a CYA, really, is what that is.
Absolutely.
You can still drive it, but it goes against what Cadillac would like you to do.
Right. You just got to understand what is happening when the lights are on. So when StabiliTrak is on, ABS lights on, when
you slam on the brakes, you will slide now.
You're going to slide. Whatever direction that car started sliding in,
it's going that direction.
I don't care what you do with the steering wheel.
It's not gonna shudder and stuff like that.
That's right.
It's actually going to. It'll stop.
Oh yeah.
But it stops all the tires together, and they just they grab once they grab.
That's right. So that's the part of it that you got to be aware of. Just got to just pay attention. If something happens, you're not going to have.
I've been running now, instead of running a car length and a half, I've been running about 3 car lengths behind the car I'm in front of, just in case. Just in case. But something happened with this recall that you said on this show would happen. And I thought, come on now, this sat in my mailbox for a week and a half before I even opened it. then it's been 4 weeks since I got it. So Matt's wrong. Matt's not right. There's no way that this is going to be the case. So I call, and I go to set up an appointment to get the recall done. And they say, can we get the last 4 of your VIN number? I gave them the last 4 of the VIN number. They say, certainly, we have it on record that your vehicle qualifies for the recall. We're well aware of this. And as soon as we get parts in the next 6 to 8 weeks, we'll set up an appointment for you to come in to recall. And I thought, Matt said, when you call them, you may surprise them with a recall. They may not know they got a recall yet. Or if they do know it's recalled, the chances of them having the parts are slim. And I thought it's been 5-6 weeks. Surely they've got no. They still don't have the parts. I checked back with them yesterday. Now, it's been a week and a half since I called them. Checked back with them yesterday just to say, hey, I'm touching base with the guy. Goes, yeah, it still looks 6 to 8 weeks. And it's been a week and a half.
It may be 6 to 8 weeks for the next 6 to 8 weeks.
Right. That's what I'm noticing a pattern there.
Yeah.
What if the company recognizes their recall? How do they not have the resources to take care of that recall before they send out the notices?
I never quite understood how that whole process worked, because a lot of
To me, that's like opening a new restaurant and said, hey, we got chicken wings. And you get there and they go, we're going to have chicken wings in 6 to 8 weeks. Right now, all we got is cheese sticks.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yep, that's it. And let's be happy with the cheese sticks.
For me, if you're going to send the notice out,
you should have all the ducks in a row.
You should have everything ready to go.
Come on, man.
Am I missing something?
No, yeah, well, no, yeah. Well, yeah. That's how we do it. That's how we roll in this industry.
They said it would literally, we know of the recall. We're aware of the recall. Give us the last 4 of your VIN. I came to, yes, your car comes up in our system as qualified for the recall.
Mm-hmm.
We ain't got no parts for it.
No, we ain't got no.
How could you have everything down? You know my car, by using the last VIN, my car's in the computer system. Everything's checked. All the boxes are checked. But you don't have the parts.
And listen, I knew that this was going to happen, right?
You did. You said on the radio, chances are you're going to call and they will either not know the recall is out yet, or they'll know the recall is out, know your car is qualified for the recall, but still won't have the parts for it.
So
and that's what happened.
That's the norm. Okay, that's the norm. It's been in the norm. I've been in this industry since I was 16 years old. Okay,
and that's the norm.
And that's the norm. I lied about my age when I got my first job working at Gator Lyle's Oldsmobile GMC truck. Okay, and that was the norm when I was 17 years old. But here's the kicker. Okay, so it's worse now today than it was 30 years ago. It's worse. And Tom, I got a Dodge truck that I've had at my shop for months. It's been there for months.
Right.
The steering, it's got electronic steering on it. It's got electric steering, and the rack and pinion is bad. Okay, it's got a bad rack and pinion. Okay, this truck has been sitting at my shop for months, trying to get a part so that this gentleman could drive his truck with power steering.
And this is not a new truck.
This is I think it's like a 16, maybe a 16, 17.
And they can't get the rack and pinion parts.
It's on intergalactic back order. We've tried a reman one. We got a reman in. It was worse than the one that we took out. Because I hate using reman stuff, but we were grasping. We tried a used one.
Right.
The used one was one of the mounting brackets was broken on it because I guess it was in an accident. And so this truck has been sitting at my shop for months, and this guy he can't drive it. You can drive yours. At least you can get in your car and you can drive it. You can drive 3 cars back and you can be careful. This guy cannot drive his car.
I don't understand that. How they don't have the part for a car that's 5 years old.
It's on I have another car. We are scouring the country trying to find a PCM, which is a power control module for a computer for the engine side. It's on back order through Chrysler. we can't even find a used one. And if you did find a used one, I have to send it to a special guy here in town that has to go in and actually erase the stuff that's been programmed on this computer.
Set it back to default. Yeah.
No, he's got to erase it so that he can add this car, take this car's information and download it in there. And we can't find a computer for this car. And I don't know how long this car will sit at Sunrise Automotive not being able to be driven.
Well, I asked the guy at Cadillac last week, yesterday when I called back. It's been a week and a half. I go, what's the prognosis? Is there an ETA or anything? He goes, to be honest with you, sir, I have no idea.
No.
He's very honest with me.
He
goes,
does.
To be honest with you, I have no idea. When the parts come in, we start setting appointments.
Yep.
I go, how many people have you had to call? He says, you're 11th on the list.
Well, that's nothing. You're already...
No, he said that was, I go, 11th? My goodness. He goes, no. That's a good list. The list, right now, I'm 11th on the list of 114 Cadillacs in this area because Sullivan services the five county area. Levy County, Lake County. So because Sullivan has so many, this is something that's a problem on a lot of, they didn't recall them.
Right.
It's a problem. And it seems to be a problem of the 2010, 2011 Cadillacs.
And it's going to be the same problem with the Equinox and the same problem with the...
I'm sure it is.
It's going to... Encore.
The Buick Encore. Yeah, because it's all on the same...
It's all on the same body
right.
style.
The only difference between those cars and my car is the shape of the exterior body.
Right. Well, the tail lights and the grills are a little bit different.
Right. But it's the same frame, everything.
Same drivetrain, same electronics, same everything.
Different emblems.
Yep.
And somehow they insulate the Cadillac a little better so you don't hear the road as much.
Yeah. There's some things that Cadillac does. There's some things that Buick does that Pontiac doesn't do. So but it's at the end of the day, this stuff is crazy. Our industry, I tell you, I don't know. I don't know what tomorrow is going to bring.
But you warned me that when I called, they were going to tell me we either don't know about the recall or we don't have the parts for the recall.
Right.
And as soon as we get the parts, you're on a list. We'll set an appointment for you to come in. It was the latter. They don't have the parts. And here's what he told me. He goes, but we suggest you not drive the vehicle until we call you. So yesterday when I said what he said, that I go, well, so is Sullivan going to give me a loaner vehicle? He goes, did you buy the car from Sullivan? I go, no, I bought it from a private user. He goes, if you'd bought the car from Sullivan, because it's a Sullivan, you're part of the Sullivan family, we would. I go, well, that's kind of, you want me not to drive to make sure, and I said this to him, I said, you want me not to drive, that's a CYA thing, but yet you're not giving me anything to drive, and it's not my fault that my car can't be driven. It's your fault. He goes, well, it's not our fault. It's the manufacturer's fault. I go, who you work for? He goes, Sullivan Cadillac. I go, who's the manufacturer? He goes, Cadillac. I go, hello. He goes, yeah, not the same thing.
That ain't the same thing.
And I know it's not the same thing. I worked in the car business for a long time. I know it's not the same thing. But the fact that they didn't offer a car to use while mine sits. But if they did, the list over 100 people long.
I know.
That may be their entire floor that they have to give us cars to drive.
I know. And who pays for that? See, they at the end of the day.
And they're probably only getting a fraction of labor cost and everything to fix this thing because the manufacturer's fixing it.
Yeah, they have to do everything comes under. So if anything, whether it's a recall or you go in and you bring your car into the dealership and it's fixed under warranty, there's we use the Chilton book, the old that's
right.
They have to use a warranty book. So and some of the things that when I was a mechanic at Sullivan, I worked for Sullivan.
Right.
And after Gator Lyles, I worked. Okay, so let's just say your Cadillac, let's say it throws a rod. They're not going to put a motor in it. They're going to put a rod in it.
Right.
Okay. And we're going to put the rod that it threw out. Whatever bearing spun. We might have to put a crankshaft in it, put a rod in it. And it may pay 3.5 hours of labor to tear your engine apart.
Yeah, but it's a lot longer than that.
Clark Kent can't do it in 3.5 hours.
Right. But that's all the manufacturer's giving you because it's a warranty part.
That's right. That's all the manufacturer's going to do. So here's what's happening is because a lot of these dealerships are pricing themselves straight out of they're pricing themselves straight out of work, and that's been, I hate to say it, but it's good for our business.
Of course it is.
Because people are coming to me and saying, "Can you do these services for us?"
Because they can't do it affordable at the other place.
At the dealerships.
Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs from Sunrise Auto.
Hey, Tom, and good morning, Matt.
Morning.
I just want to give Matt a compliment. I've visited Matt twice, and he's done an excellent job with my vehicle. I have an older vehicle myself, Tom, and I'm not saying you don't understand, but you could draw some comparisons with selling weapons. Manufactured to a dealer, and then a dealer to a purchaser, and then a purchaser sells to another private individual. At that point, then the liability is over for the manufacturer. So I'm not defending your circumstance, and I do empathize with it. I think since you do have a Cadillac, you know, especially a Cadillac, Tom. No, but it would be nice if we were to that point. But the liability of the corporation, and you could also look at the vaccine. People will say, well, it's big government, but it's actually the corporations always protecting themselves, and it does end at some point, but it's usually, up our backside. So I'm not defending the corporation, Tom, but in any case, even though I'm a left-wing liberal, John F. Kennedy Democrat, I do stand with my citizens. I try to always put the welfare of the victim first myself, because that's just where our hearts are at. All right, Tom, I'll keep listening, Matt. I appreciate all that you do for the community, and I hope your son's still doing well there at the shop for you.
Doing awesome.
Thanks, Mark, for the call. I don't agree with Mark. It's Cadillac's responsibility. This is a dadgum recall. They sent me a letter. Fix my dadgum car. We don't have the parts. Figure it out.
Well, what they should have done, and what they always should do, I think the government...
Have the parts first.
Well, okay, yeah, discuss, hey, we got an issue here. We're going to have a recall. Let's get the parts manufactured and made. Let's send out the letters to the customers.
After we manufacture the parts.
But I think if we really dove into this thing and looked at the process of how this thing works, I have a feeling that the Department of Safety, of Motor Vehicles and Safety,
called Cadillac and said, hey, you got a problem.
And we're going to do this, and they're the ones that implement and make this they're the ones. I'm sure Cadillac doesn't say, okay, we need to have this recall.
No, of course not.
Somebody's telling them today is the day of reckoning.
Somebody's forcing Cadillac to do the recall.
And all of them. Look at, what's crazy?
If that wasn't the case, if they would police themselves, Pintos would still be blowing up.
My daughter had an Acura.
Right.
Okay, so she got the recall notice on the terracotta airbag.
Uh-huh.
Okay, she took it to the Acura dealership.
Which are coming through all kind of cars now, the terracotta.
Well, and my daughter's twice. She's had a recall on the same exact thing twice.
Right, they recalled it, put the new one in, and now they've recalled the new
ones.
Yeah. When is somebody going to realize terracotta needs to go out of business?
Yeah, so how are they even still
and
in
aren't
business?
they like 40 or 50% of the airbag business?
There's a lot of stuff. Now they're actually having companies. The manufacturers are setting up vans, and they're going to people's houses. They're going to parking lots. They're going to work. They're going all over
to do these
airbags.
And then that brings into question with these airbags. Okay, you replaced the airbag, and the manufacturer did it and everything, but is the insurance company, because the insurance company is real sketchy on replacement airbags. So even though it was manufacturer replaced it all, the jury's still out on whether insurance companies, like the big insurance companies, will then say that was a faulty airbag. No, it was replaced after the factory. Nope, we're not honored. There's this airbag thing may end up being one of the boondoggles that restructures the car industry.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on.
People are going to go to jail over this terracotta airbag thing.
It's kind of like, Yeah, it's
because they're just going off.
Yeah.
They're doing nothing. And now the rear seat airbags that are in the rear of the driver's seat and the passenger seat, so it protects the people in the rear, they're having problems with them just opening up. Well, that's where your kid's child seat is and everything.
And please wear your seatbelts when you're
always.
I mean, it's so important, especially if your car's equipped with airbags.
Yeah.
It's just please.
And I know I'm just the same. People go, well, it shouldn't be a mandate. Okay, look, regardless of the law, I'm a firm believer that why do I have to wear a seatbelt in a car with 4 sides and airbags when some moron can get on a pair of board shorts and flip-flops with no helmet on and no shirt on and can get on a motorcycle? And here's how somebody in a motorcycle club explained it to me. Tom, if you're in that car with 4 sides, your seatbelt and your airbags, chances of you surviving, very high. If you're that moron in board shorts, flip-flops, no helmet, no shirt on the bike, chances of you surviving, very low. And we're okay with that because that gets a moron off the streets. That's how a guy in a motorcycle club.
And you're probably not going to end up hurting somebody else
right.
in your stupidity.
He said most people that ride Harleys or big bikes like that, they wear biker clothes.
Yeah.
He goes, if the Rice Rocket guys want to wear board shorts, flip-flops, and no shirts, let them do what they do. You know, because I always used to say, why do I got to wear a seatbelt when a guy can get on a motorcycle like that? And he explained to me, and it makes perfect sense. You can die on a motorcycle almost instantaneous in that situation. Car with seatbelt and airbags, you're in good shape. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs, Sunrise Auto.
Good morning, guys.
Morning, Hugh.
Say, man, I know it's illegal for you to disassemble a airbag situation. My brother-in-law's got a car that had recalled, and they don't have the parts, and he discussed it. And he's going to go ahead and disconnect or disable the seatbelt or the airbag situation. Is that a difficult thing to do?
Nope, not at all. But here's the thing.
Here's the rub.
If something were to happen and they find out that he unplugged, and it's going to be easy for them to determine
it's in the black box.
It's been unplugged, and now he's just totally.
His insurance is void,
and he's released the manufacturer from any sort of liability whatsoever.
Yep.
So
somebody dies because of that, the manufacturer is no longer responsible because he unplugged the airbag.
Right, and if it's an issue like. There's been a manufacturer that had an issue with airbags not deploying under a crash. So in this particular case, if this is the case, then if something were to happen, well, because he unplugged it, then he's just out of luck now. But find out why what's the issue with the airbag system? What is going on? Why is there a recall? What's the circumstance? Is it because there's a piece of metal inside the steering wheel that's going to come out and stick him in the head? Well, then maybe I would unplug it and disable it.
Thanks for the call, Hugh.
Yeah.
Let's get one more call in real quick before we go to break. Good morning. You're on with Matt Gibbs. You got about 30 seconds.
Hi, guys. When I had the recall on my Vibe, I didn't have to lay out a dime.
No.
All I did was make the appointment with the GM dealer and took it there and waited for them to fix whatever it was on the recall. But the recall usually don't cost anything.
No, the recall's free, Sonny.
Yeah.
Thanks. The recall's free once they get the parts.
Yeah. A recall will never cost you anything. They might try to sell you something that's over and above the recall.
Right.
But the recall itself is completely 100% under warranty.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to that because that's going to be a fun day for me. When I go in with that 2010 and they try to sell me, and I'm going to like, look, I just came in to get this recall. Well, you need this, you need it. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to fix the recall, and I'm going to drive. No, you need it. Okay, either step away from me or somebody's getting hurt.
That's sad. That's our thought when we have to go into a dealership. That's our thought.
Matt, how can they find you?
You can give me a call at 352-690-1993. We come by and see me at 1800 Northwest 10th Street.
This is WOCA, The Source.
USA Radio News with Lance Pry.
A sharply divided U.S. Senate failed on Monday to advance a measure to suspend the federal debt ceiling and avoid a government shutdown. The near party line vote of 48 yeas against 50 noes fell short of the 60 votes needed to push the bill. Democrats who control both chambers of Congress now have just 3 days to find another way to keep the government operating beyond Thursday. South Korea's military officials confirmed Tuesday that North Korea military had fired a short-range missile toward its eastern sea. North Korea's ambassador to the United Nations defended the latest launch in remarks to the UN General Assembly, demanding the United States and South Korea end their hostile policy against the country. An Arizona judge Monday ruled the state's ban on mask mandates in schools and other measures are unconstitutional. Attorney General Mark Brnovich tweeted Monday he will appeal the ruling. This is USA Radio News.
What better gift to give your loved ones than the gift of good health? And where better to buy those good health gifts than sunny-bay.com? Hey, it's great that you're hearing this message now because buying your holiday gifts from Sunny Bay early will save you money. And that's just one reason why Sunny Bay is in business and has been for over 15 years, helping you with fashionable and useful products for better health. See our unique and quality-made travel pillows or our unique neck and body wraps that help immediate pain relief and deep muscle relaxation. Come in a wide variety of uses, apply hot or cold therapy, and are all made in the USA. See our great selection, affordable prices, and wonderful health products at sunny-bay.com. And remember, order early when our stock is high and shipping is fast. Just click sunny-bay.com. That's sunny-bay.com. And happy holidays from Sunny Bay.
This fall, you can get back into the swing of things. Bespoke Post is here with a new seasonal lineup of must-have Box of Awesome collections. Bespoke Post partners with small businesses and emerging brands to bring you the most unique goods every month. No matter what you're into, Box of Awesome has you covered. From cozy threads, camping gear essentials, Box of Awesome has collections for every part of your life. To get started, take the quiz at boxofawesome.com. See, your answers will help them pick the right Box of Awesome for you. They release new boxes every month across a ton of different categories. It's free to sign up, and you can skip a month or cancel anytime. Each box only costs $45 but has over $70 worth of gear inside. Get 20% off your first monthly box when you sign up at boxofawesome.com and enter the code BUBBA at checkout. That's boxofawesome.com. The code is BUBBA for 20% off your first box. Or go to rickandbubba.com under the sponsors to find the link to boxofawesome.com.
It's officially fall, and that means there's a whole long list of new specials this week at Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens in Ocala. You want a sample? Well, here's an idea that's savings waiting for you at Bob Wine's. A fabulous selection of crepe myrtles, regularly $9.99 to as much as $399. They're all 50% off. Now, Bob has a huge selection of those gorgeous fall garden mums, many colors. You can get 10 smaller ones for just $29.99. And, of course, don't forget the fruit sale, a long list of your favorites, all 50% off. And while you're there, stock up on your favorite fall veggies. Too many to name here. Just remember, the Jumbo 4-pack is still just $4.99. Now, check the ad for all the specials, then hurry on out to Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens, Southeast 38th Street in Ocala. Daily till 4, Saturdays till 3. They're in the same blooming place since 1952.
What you need is RoofMax. RoofMax is a revolutionary green roofing solution that can save you $10,000 or more by greatly extending the life of your existing roof. Here's how it works. Asphalt roof shingles have essential oils to keep them flexible and waterproof. Over time, this oil dries out, causing your roof to become brittle and slowly break apart. A RoofMax treatment saturates your roof with millions of microbeads, restoring flexibility and continued waterproof protection. It's like a skin moisturizer for asphalt shingles. RoofMax treatments are guaranteed for 5 years, and repeating treatments can extend your roof's life for up to 15 years for a fraction